Can we give a round of applause to my family that's in the building? It's Tate McRae that's here, y'all. Good. The small's big. The heart is full.
Yes.
The album is connecting on so many levels. When you think about this album, #1 in over 30 countries, dude.
Crazy.
Okay, so is that the word that comes to mind?
Yeah, it's so exciting. It's always so crazy when it first comes out into the world, just to see people's initial reactions and just to take in everything, because it all feels like you just feel so overstimulated at all times.
And the thing, because we've had so many conversations over the years and watching you grow, it's just Tate being Tate, and that you're just finding your way to have fun, to be the most authentic and vulnerable, and people are really just connecting with who you are. How important is that as a singer, as a songwriter, to just be able to connect by being who you are? No frills.
I mean, I think that's the only way that you can do this and stay sane is staying yourself, because that's the only thing that I think can make you feel like this isn't the weirdest thing in the world, or sometimes lose your mind over, because at the end of the day it's all therapeutic and all things that come from within, and if you try to be someone else, it just everything gets thrown off.
Totally.
So,
I mean, it's tough to fake it in this really insane industry. So to have a family and a team and have people behind you who are genuine and who are there to support, who are there to tell you to stay on your, I don't know if I'm allowed to say stay on your shit when you need to. How important is that to have that type of a foundation?
It's so important. I'm so close with my friends and my family. I call my mom a million times a day. Like, my mom and dad give me the best advice, I think, because they're not living in LA. They're not living in this world. And so they have a bit more of a normal perspective on all of this. And they're like, okay, let's relax. Like, your world isn't ending if the drum is wrong in a song. Like, sometimes it can feel so overwhelming.
And you are a perfectionist when it comes to that stuff. I mean, it's going down to, I was just watching the creation of, I think it was it Sports Car? Yeah, how it's you and Julia Michaels, and knowing that she is a perfectionist also. She's my dimple buddy, by the way, too. So shout out, Julia. I love you. I miss you. But finding the way to get the whisper vocals down and how that's connected to the Yin Yang twins.
Yeah. No, it's such a meticulous process. I think people underestimate like how much work the producers put in, how much work like the writing process is, like tweaking things, making sure everything flows, makes sense. It's like spending months on a book. Like it's
and you're doing all this creation while you're like on tour. This whole album came together. How did you find the time to get a microphone on a bus, or to find that closet in a hotel room where the vocals sounded good enough? Where do you carve out 2 or 3 minutes to do these things?
It was hard. We had a lot of like towels over my head. Lots of weird hotel rooms in the middle of nowhere. Just like trying to be inspired by a beige wall. Just being like, oh my God, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Faith is in the room. Did you capture any of that stuff on photograph? Yeah? We're in the nod.
Yeah, I think there's one, I remember writing like the outro, It's Okay, I'm Okay, and we were like recording that.
And shout out to you, by the way, being nominated for Best Tour Photographer at our iHeart Awards. How important is it why should we know that she is the GOAT when it comes to capturing all the emotions, all the feelings, all the things that you bring to life as an artist on stage, from the dancing to knowing when to hit that pose and to capture that shot?
Well, as a photographer, to capture a dance show is one of like the hardest things ever, because we're not just standing there, our hair is
You are moving.
We are moving every millisecond. Yeah. Like we are... For most people, try to capture a show like that, and it's like hairs in your face, everything, like it's all over the place. And I think you have to be so smart to be able to find the angles and also appease the artist, because every artist has a different style of photo that they want, aesthetic that they want, vibe that they want. And so it's like a lot of conversations. It's a lot of analyzing the show in rehearsals and seeing what are the best moments. And
totally.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work.
And she knows it. She
does.
And I've seen it in action, watching these shows and watching the growth, watching it go from an all-access lounge to a Jingle Ball tour to Lollapalooza. First we're doing the Toyota Music Den stage, and then it's main stage, and I'm watching you work that catwalk and seeing everybody so dialed in. The energy that you get from the fans, they mean the most to you. What is that like for you on stage to receive that?
I mean, they're the only thing that matters is the fans. I think when a show is happening, all I'm thinking about is I hope that they're feeling this. I hope that they're walking away from the night feeling like whether they escaped for the night or they just feel better, they were able to, scream out their emotions for a breakup or anything. Just like, I just want them to walk away and feel like they just feel satisfied. And that just takes a lot of back and forth energy from me to them, to them to me. And
do you feel satisfied? Like when you leave the stage, I mean, as we see this song like Revolving Door, to know that you're giving your all, dude, and you are quite literally laying it on the line.
Yeah.
Do you get that sense of fulfillment when you know that you've nailed it? Or, do you continue to chase that, to be a better version of Tate?
On tour, I feel a lot of that satisfaction.
Awesome.
Because I don't really care. Like, if I hit a wrong note or something goes wrong, like, it's an hour show. Like, I can still feel, like, the whole, like, I feel like it's harder to pick apart.
Gotcha.
When it's, like, a one-off show, that's when I always think it's terrible every time I walk off stage.
Well, no, but you're beautiful. You do it with so much grace, and you're just being you, and that's the vulnerability, and that's the just you having fun and just kind of being that pop girl who's just, giving us what we want as, just like you said, that escape as a fandom. Just, tater tots, we're here for you. We stood 10 toes down, man, when album people are getting it. You're like, no, we're not listening to this until our girl says to. We're gonna pull up and we're gonna wait outside of SNL to watch her hit the stage. To do that again, this is a little segue real quick before we wrap things up. Getting to hit the SNL stage like twice in less than, is it a year?
Yeah, it's been a year.
Like, come on, dude. Like,
yeah.
Do you pinch yourself and what's it like being there at 30 Rock and hitting the SNL stage?
It's one of the greatest honors of all time. You feel lucky to stand in that building. You feel lucky to be amongst those people. You feel like you just don't want to miss it. Like when you're there, you're just like, I don't want to forget this. And that is such a important thing to remember when you're so nervous too, because you're also blacking out.
Yeah, you have no idea until you see the playback, the rollback. Like, oh, that's what I did.
That's what I looked like.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap things up, I want to talk about the importance of mental health and how special Revolving Door is for that. I mean, you're telling us in the video, you're breaking down and you're pulling yourself together. But when you have those moments, what are you doing to center yourself, to ground yourself, to feel just regular, or have that breath of relief?
I mean, it's hard because sometimes when you feel like you're in a hole, it's like impossible to get out, because the only thing that, no matter what changes in your environment, the only thing that will get you out is your brain.
Yeah.
And sometimes your brain can feel like it's like suffocating. The only thing that helps me is gratitude, is just genuinely like looking around and being like, okay, snap out of it. Like, look at your life, look at you, look at the people around you, and being grateful for very small things that happen every single day. That you get to wake up, that you get to live your life, that you have good people around you. It just, I think, stabilizing yourself and remembering the little things is the only way that I'll get out of one of those nasty holes.
Well, I'll tell you, I remember the little things. I remember just watching you, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say. Remember dark-haired Tate sitting during quarantine in the doing videos on Zoom in the bedroom with the shoes, and just knowing that you put in that work. You've had that ethic that, you just knew that this was something that you wanted. You weren't going to stop until, you did what was best for you. And that's what's truly important. And again, to the team and the family that you have behind the scenes, you all are super amazing as we stand here behind the camera. So just thank you for being you. And there's a reason why these tour dates are sold out. There's why, we're possessive, and Zara Larson she works the same way. And I just know you bring together this energy that is truly electric. And we thank you for being who you are, dude.
Thank you.
I mean,
so
that,
sweet.
to the moon and back. This, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause, is, of course, Tate McRae. Love you, dude.
I love you too.
All right, I'm going to step out.